In this video, we're going to unpack Robert Johnson's staple blues tune, Come On In My Kitchen, thanks to our sponsor, Black Mountain. I got a small collection of slides that I really never use. The reason? None of them seem to fit just right. And that's the biggest problem with buying a slide. It's hard to find one that's a great fit. The new full-size slide from Black Mountain solves this problem. Black Mountain makes this fantastic thumb pick, the slide ring, and now they've incorporated that same spring-loaded design into this new full-size metal slide. This slide has a cutaway for comfort and it adjusts to your finger for that perfect fit. They come in 3 sizes, small, regular, and extra large to help you get in the ballpark, but then that spring takes over and helps you dial in the perfect fit. I'm using the small on my pinky, but it works great on my ring finger as well. So grab your slide at the link in the description. Man, I can't wait to dig into this one with you. This is easily one of my favorite Robert Johnson tunes, and that punchy ending lick is definitely in my top 5 all-time favorite blues licks. You know the one. We've got a lot to get into before we get into that cool lick, so hang on. But you know, there really are a ton of great versions of this song, but the one that we're going to focus on in this tutorial is the original recorded by Robert Johnson. We're going to focus on the intro and the verse, and I'm going to do my best to nail this as closely as I can to the record. You can find a great tab that really goes along with the record at the link on your screen and in the description. Now, let's make sure that we're all on the same page by talking about the crazy tuning that we got here. All right, we're going to dig into tuning maybe a little more than most would like. So if you want to skip this section, just tune to open G, throw a capo where you would like, and you can follow along. But if you want to match the pitches that I've got going on here, which are trying to match the pitches on the record, then check this part out. The official tab has us tuned to open A flat and then capo on the 2nd fret. But now if I do that, and I put a capo on the 2nd fret, you're going to see as we move through, we're playing around the 12th fret a heck of a lot. So then I would be playing around the 14th fret, adjusting for the capo a lot. And check this out, I can't really easily get there because I don't have a cutaway and because this is a 12th fret to the body guitar. So my workaround was to go all the way up to open A, which low to high is E, A, E, A, C sharp, E, and then capo at the 1st fret. So we get into open A sharp, open B flat, however you want to look at that. Because of this, as we're walking through, I'm going to give fret numbers respective to the capo. So my 12th fret is actually going to be here at the actual 13th fret if I were to remove the capo, but it's 12 frets above the capo. That's how we work when we've got a capo on. And if you want to move yours to suit your guitar, maybe to suit your singing range, absolutely fine. I want to encourage you to do that, but this is what I chose to do. Open A, capo 1. Let's get started with the intro. For the picking technique, I'm going to place my thumb on top of the 2nd string and then lay it down across string 6 through 3 so that they don't make a sound. And then my index finger is going to rest on the underside of the 1st string so that I'm basically going to just play strings 2 and 1 here for the first part, and everything else is muted. We're going to come in on the and of 3 and just play slides up to the 12th fret. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Now on that 1, I'm going to pinch strings 2 and 1 together and slide up to the 12th fret. All right. And then the next measure, it's got a couple of bass pumps, beat 2, 3, and then you'll want to pluck the top 2 strings together. So I'm going to bring in index and middle here. You could just brush up, but I like making sure that I get these 2 notes together by plucking them at the same time. This is on the and of 3, so we've got 2, 3, and it's just a slide back to the 12th fret. We're going to work around the 12th fret a lot in this tune. And then bass with the single string. I'm plucking that with my middle finger here. That's the single 1st string, single note 1st string. and then and a 4 to finish out this measure, sliding up to the 12th. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now this next measure is where we really get into that turnaround sound that sets up the verse. We're going to start with this cool little move. I'm just pumping the bass twice, and you might see it as the open 6th string, but you might hear me occasionally do the 5th string there. But we're going to pinch on top of the beat. So this is beat 1. After we do this, we're going to slide off from the 12th fret and play a little triplet, right, with the slide, and then 2 bass back to back. And then we kind of stumble into a little bit of a more classic sounding turnaround. So after you slide down, you can get your fingers involved here so that we can fret the 3rd fret on the 5th string and pinch with the open 3rd string. And then kind of hold that position as far as pinching with the 3rd string, because we're going to do it a lot here in the rest of the measure. So we move, this is going to be beat 2, and this is kind of a little bit of a different way to get into this. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right, so once we get into that 2nd fret on the 6th string, again pinching with the 3rd string, then we just 3 and 4 and what's happening there is it's a pinch pluck. Now you can brush up to get that open 3rd string and the 4th string note. It's just kind of dragging along with what's happening on the 6th string, right? These are tuned the same, 1 octave apart, so we've got the same note here. Sounds really good. Then we open up to the open 6th string and 3rd string. And then of course you can brush up through that 4th string before sliding up to the 7th fret and this little phrase. Then all we do here is just play the bass and get ourselves ready for the verse, but we're going to cover that in the next section. For now, let's just hear the intro played slowly. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And keep these 2 things in mind as we work on the first verse. First up, this is a good template verse. There are variations throughout the rest of the verses, but this should set you up well to be able to tackle those. And secondly, let the vocal line lead you. That vocal melody really takes center stage, and the slide really just mimics it. That applies to verse 1 as well as the rest of the verses. That's the opening phrase, and this is happening when Robert Johnson is humming that first verse. We're sliding in. We actually start right before the beat, beat 4 and 1, 2, 3. Then we drop down to the 11th fret for and of 3, 4 and 1. All right, let's listen to it. This is a really cool move. I love how we just kind of move down that first string. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Now here we do something a little bit different with the bass. We kind of get a little shuffle feeling happening here. So we end here on beat 1 of this 2nd measure, 2 and 3. So it's just a quick 2 and 3 with the thumb, right? Gets that shuffle feeling happening. Then we've got, similar to what we did in the intro, we slide in on the and of 3, 12th fret, top 2 strings, then by itself, then drop down to the 11th fret and finish that phrase over the top of the next measure, which is no bass, just the 12th fret, 2nd string, 3rd string. All right, so let's hear this as a complete phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, we land this phrase with this move, which is bass, then sliding on the 2nd string, then hitting the top 2 strings together, then back to the 2nd string, and then the 3rd string, all at the 12th fret, right? But we're sliding into those notes. Sounds really cool. One more time. Then we got a little bit of a different animal here for the bass. After we finish this, we actually hit the open 4th string, and then this funny little stumble kind of has that shuffle in it a little bit, but notice what we did. I moved off of the fretboard with the slide down to the open position and played this note, 1st fret, 2nd string in the middle. And that outside string, the 1st string, to kind of finish that little stumble. It's just a really neat little idea there to give some contrast to everything that we're doing up here. All right, now we've made it up to the line where Robert Johnson starts singing, "You Better Come On In My Kitchen." That's the part that we're going to attack right now. All right, this sets up right after this part. We're going to slide in a couple of real powerful slides. Top 2 strings, 12th fret, back to back. That's where we say "you better come on." And then bass, but one of those shuffle basses. But check out what happens there. We do 5th string, 5th string, 6th string. And then we get ready to do another set of powerful slide moves. This is where it's saying "in my kitchen." So you can kind of sing that, "in my kitchen," as you're doing this slide down. That's 12th fret, top 2 strings. And again, then 12th fret on the 3rd string and slide back down to the 7th fret. This is really cool, and it's where we do kitchen. Whoops, kitchen, right? So we want to land on the downbeat of the next measure where we finish the word kitchen, right? Kitchen. "You better come on in my kitchen," just like that. Then we've got kind of a weird measure timing-wise. We let this hang, and then the "and" of 2 is just 2 quick little bass pumps. You can leave these out and then head to beat 3, the open 6th string, and then "and" of 3, 4. So we've got "in my kitchen." Before a really big, powerful move with the payoff line, it's going to be raining outdoors. Before we do that really cool turnaround lick. So what's happening here is we've switched back and our bass is now focused on the 6th string. If you push through and get the open 5th string, totally cool. But we're going to do 3 of these back to back to back. So it's gonna be, right? So then we're going to do this move. And you can do this a few different ways. You can either just take the 12th fret, 3rd string, slide down, little quick breath in there with the open 3rd string as you slide back into the 12th fret for the end of that measure. Or you can hang out here around the 12th fret, slide down to the 10th, and then back up to the 12th, but on the 4th string. It's the first time we've hit that note. If you want to keep it a little more local. But, you know, spend some time having fun with that. This is one of the more fun moments where you can really get the slide to do something really cool and stand out sounding. All right, so let's hear the verse. I'll play the whole thing through, and I'll play it through nice and slowly. All right, now let's tackle that amazing turnaround lick. All right, so you can see all of the action is really happening in the first couple of measures here. We set it up just with some open strings, slide into the 5th fret, 4th string, big vibrato there. let it hang before sliding back down to the 4th fret. Sometimes I go down to the 3rd, but the 4th fret will do. And then we're going to slide back up from the 4th fret, but this time we're switching strings after the open string. Slide on the 5th string, 4th up. So what we've got is, see here how we got that little breath in there for the open 4th string? And then this is probably the coolest part to me. We start out the next measure with a little open 5th, 3rd fret on the 6th, and then back to the open 5th really quickly. It's a powerful way to start a measure. And then with that hanging, we add the period on the end of the sentence here, the 5th fret on the 1st string. And all we really do to finish out is just keep that pumping with a dead bass on the 5th string. So let's hear this part played slowly. If you dig the sound of this slide, you can pick one up from Black Mountain at the link in the description. And if you learned something from this lesson, please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Sure helps me out a lot, and I'd be grateful. And if you want to go deeper, you can learn all about good slide technique inside my BGI. Hope to see you inside, and until then, practice smart and play on.